Today we'll be learning how to create a temperature converter as this that can convert from Celsius to Fahrenheit and Fahrenheit to Celsius. So we'll be making it in this format, same as what we see on my screen here. So let's write on. So now looking at this format, the first thing we want to create is the div, the heading, the inputs, button, and the result div at the ending. Before then, let me show how this works. Okay, let's take this back. Okay, so looking at this, let's try to change from Celsius to Fahrenheit, 100 and less. We see this loading format, we see that the heading changed, and we see that the result was brought. And notice that after some time the heading returns back to this. So we'll be doing all of that here even as we work with this. Let's try to refresh. Okay, they select unit and there's a default value 0. So we'll work with all of this as we move forward. So let's go back and start. So first thing first, we'll create a new folder and we'll name it temp folder. Alright, and then the next thing we're going to do, we'll open our code editor. For me, I use VS Studio. Okay, let me bring this down, right click and copy, come to the code editor, click here and Ctrl V. Yes, paste the file. Good. So the next thing we'll be doing, we'll be creating a file, and the file we want to create is, first we'll be creating 3 files for HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Good, we have 3 files. So let's link them together to the HTML file. You know, HTML is like the structure and foundation of every web page. So let's link them together first. So I'll put shift and press 1. It's a shortcut in VS Code. Enter. Alright. Now I'll use the link element to link it. Okay, so I link the CSS document to this HTML now. Then we use script tag to link it. We use temp.js. So let's open this in a web browser. Open with lifestyle. Perfect. Let's reshape it. Alright, I think we are good to go. So the next thing we'll be doing here is to work on this. Let's look at this again. We'll create a div and all these things within that div. Okay, let's get back to work. So let's create a div first. We'll create a heading h1, create inputs. We'll create 3 of them, so this is a shortcut to create 3 of them. Then we'll create a button, and we'll create the result div. So we'll give them a class. Let's save first. Alright, so for the other 2 inputs, they are radio inputs, so we'll change that type to radio. Also this one, we'll change this type to radio. Good. Then for the button, let's give it a class. We'll name it convert button, btn for short. And we'll name here, let's give it a class, we'll name it result. Okay, then class, we'll name this heading. Perfect. So I think there in capital letters, temperature converter. Okay, we'll add labels to this. Let's save. We'll add labels to these radio buttons. Let's put line break here. Also for the button, let's put line break. Alright, for the button we'll put convert. Okay, that's perfect. The next thing we'll be doing, we'll add labels. So let's say label. For this label, first one will be Celsius. Start it with capital letter. The next one, we'll add label to the next one. This one will be Fahrenheit to Celsius. Okay, then let's save. Good. Okay, I think this is still, this one is not having line break, so let's put a line break here. The label is not in it's not where it's supposed to be. Let's cut it out and let's put it. Okay. We have paste first, and let's cut this one out. Cut here, cut it out, then we'll paste it to this point. Okay, then delete this one out, save. Okay, I think it's perfect now. Good. So let's go and edit this in CSS right away. Before we edit, let's look at this. We want to only be able to click one, and we want so that when we click at Celsius, it will click up at this place also. So first off, let's go to the inputs. Let's give it an ID. Let's say this one is to Fahrenheit. To Fahrenheit. ID. This one is to Celsius. Okay, so come here to Celsius, come here. So it dictates to the computer that this label belongs to a particular input. So when I click on the label, it's as same as clicking on that input. Okay, so you can click on the label and it clicks on the input. Next thing, we want to only be able to select one, so let's give them a name. Let's come here and say name. So we'll make them belong to a family, so let's give them that name converter, and we'll give the same name to the other inputs. Copy, Ctrl C, come here, paste, save. Right, I think we can click one only now. Perfect. The next thing, let's give it a class so that we can work CSS to it. So we'll give it a class, and then we'll give it a class, and then So we'll give it a class. So we'll give it a class, and the name of the class will be 2Celsius. No, let's say edit Celsius, since we've given the ID that name. Edit Celsius. Then for this one, we'll give it edit Fahrenheit. Alright, save. Good. So let's work on this in CSS. So first thing first, we'll work on this div. Let's give this div a class. We haven't given it a class. Let's give it a class. Let's call it temp box, temperature box. Okay, so let's Control C. Let's come over, put dots and paste. Okay. Okay, so first thing first, we'll work on max width and the background color. Let's put max width. Let's give it a max width of 400 px. Okay, I think I like it. And let's say background color. Theirs is quite ash, so I'll give an RGB. And I'll pick up the code. So let's just put 60, 61, 61. Let's save. Okay, perfect. Then let's put padding within, let's say 10 px. Let's center align it first. Center align. Let's bring the box to the center. So I'll use margin auto for that. So let's save. Okay, I think that's perfect. Then let's center align the text inside, the element inside. So we'll use text align, center, perfect. Then let's change the font family. Okay, I think I like that. Then color, let's make it white. Okay, then let's add, want to clear off these sharp edges. We'll use border radius for that. Say 10 px and save. Alright, I think it's perfect now. Now let's go up to this input and edit it. We named it, let's go and check. We didn't give it a class, so let's give it a class. Let's call it temp value. That is temperature value. Save, Control C, then we'll paste it dot v. Alright, Control V I mean, and then now we will edit this. Let's space it. I think we haven't saved it here. Let me see. Good, I can work. Then now the next thing we'll do, let's add margin to it so that it can be well spaced beneath. let's see margin bottom. Let's use margin bottom. Let's do 20 px. Okay, I think it's perfect. Let's put background color. Let's use biscuit. Then let's move the border from it. We don't want to have any border around it. Okay, then let's give it maybe a border radius. Let's make it 5. Okay, then we want the text inside to be bold when we are writing. Font weight bold. We increase the text of the writings inside with font size. Let's give it 21 px. So let's see how large that will be. Okay, I think this is okay. Let us so we'll give it center line to the text inside. We want it to be from center. Alright, so the next thing we'll do, we'll work on this input. I think let's just call them together. I named it edit Fahrenheit. That was the class I gave to it. Comma dot edit Celsius. Okay, we want to edit both of them at a time. So let's say margin bottom. Good, a little bit spaced out well. Now let's work on the label. The label we have. For the label, let's make it bold. Good. Let us give it font size, maybe 21. Then let us give a color. We want it to be green because theirs was green, so I'll use RGB values. RGB 20 here, 212, and 20 here also. That's safe. Good, perfect. I think that's green. And I think we'll work on the buttons for now. So let's go to the button. I think we named it convert button. For the convert button, theirs was yellow, so we'll name ours also. We'll give our own color also yellow. So let's put background color. I'll also use RGB values also. So I think I'll use, for the color, let me use yellow. Let's say yellow. Let's see how it comes out like. Okay, I think this is fine. Okay, I think this is fine. Let me change it to RGB values. Okay, I think this is fine. Then for, let's add padding to it. Let's say 10 px. Let's see weight. Let's remove border from around it. Okay, let's add some border radius. Let's make it 10 px. Let's put some font weight inside. Let it be bolding. Let's make it bold. Let's increase the font size, 19 px. Okay, I think this is perfect. Then let's give the background color the color of this font color, the color of this background color for the div. So let's say color, just scroll up, we'll copy this color for the div, Ctrl C, then we'll come, paste and save. Alright, I think that's perfect. So let's edit the result also. Let's put some values, although we'll be using JavaScript to make it functional. Okay. So let's margin, let's say 10 px. Alright, font weight, let's make it bold, and let's give font size, let's increase the font size to say 19 px. Let's see how it will be like. Okay, I think that's perfect. Then let's give color to it. We just want this yellow color also to it. Perfect. So let's look at their layout again. So I think we have our layout. So it's time to add functionality to this layout. Alright, so moving forward, now when we click, nothing happens. We click here, nothing happens. Good. So it's not functional. Let's go to JavaScript and add some functionality. First thing first, we are going to call in the element with document object into JavaScript. So let's create a variable const. Let's name this heading. Query selector, sorry, document object dot query selector. Okay, so it's a class, and I remember the class, it's heading. Let's out Z so that it will wrap up. Good. So we have this. I think we'll be doing control and paste here. 1 2 3 4 is 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, I think we need some more. 5 6. Cool. So we'll be getting all those elements. So we've gotten the heading already. Let's get the input. So we gave it temp value. Let's Ctrl C and let's go back and replace it. Ctrl C and Ctrl. Okay, I just did something. Okay, let's go back. We'll take this value also input. Okay, we didn't give it a class. We did give it a class. So let's copy the class, Ctrl C, edit Fahrenheit, come here and V and V. Let's go back. The next one is edit Celsius. The next one is the button, convert button. The next one is the result. Did I miss something? The next one is the result. Let's come here. Oh, I think I counted the heading again. That was what I missed. Good. Something is missing. We don't have this. Good. Okay. I think we are done with this line. Perfect. So we have all our elements inside here. The heading, the input value, the two radio buttons, the convert button, and our div result. So first thing first, we'll add an event listener to this button so that when we click, it gets the value from this box and convert it to either Fahrenheit or to Celsius and display our result here. So that is what we are aiming at. Let's add an event listener to the button. So we'll pick the name, dot add event listener. The event listener we'll be using is click. So we'll put a function. Good. So inside here, the first thing we'll be doing will be getting the element. Before then, let's give this a value. Let's temp. Let's create a variable to store our temperature result. Then we'll use an if statement. If now we want to know if this one is clicked and we're converting to Fahrenheit. If this is clicked, we're converting to Celsius, then we'll use the else statement. That's if nothing is clicked, then we'll display a default message here. So let's say if, how do we, what method do we use to know that this is clicked? There's actually a method. Let's pick this value, edit Fahrenheit, edit Fahrenheit dot checked. So it shows that if this is clicked, it's the same thing it's saying. If this is clicked, what should happen? So let's take out temp and it reassign values. Will be equals to, we'll now get the value from here, from this temp value. So let's go temp value. But once we get it, it's coming as a string and we want to do calculations with it, so we have to convert it to a number value. So we'll use the number function. Come here. Good. So now this is a number we are working with. So let's work with it. So let's reassign the temp. And for this one, the formula is okay, this is the formula to get it. So let's check this in our console. Let's see if it's working. Good. So let's click and try to write something. Okay, no, not that. 100. Let's click Celsius. Convert. Good. So let's inspect and see if we have it in our console. Okay, it says it's not a number. Right, so I think something is wrong here, right? Something is definitely wrong here. So let's work with this. Let's come and see where we got it wrong. Let's come here. Click it here. Let's see if this is working. If we get the temp value, let's say 100. Let's convert. Okay, it isn't working. Let's comment out this one. Save. Let's try that again. 100. Let's cancel this one. Okay, we haven't clicked this yet, and let's say convert. So let's inspect. It's not a number, and it is located at number 12. It's telling us temp is not a number. Good. Now this is where we made a mistake. Here we're supposed to put dot value, since we are getting the value out of it. So that's where we made the mistake. So let's try that again. Let's see, 100. Let's click this and put convert. Good, it gives us the value, so it's working perfectly now. So let's cancel this out. Coding is about, this is part of coding, making mistakes and cleaning up the mess. I think this is 5, not that. That's 5, not 7. So let's save. Good, it's functioning well. Then we want to change this result to the answer here with an F by it representing Fahrenheit. So let's see, result dot inner HTML. Want to affect what is inside the HTML, so set it to be, we'll use backtext, and then let's put the temperature. Temp. After we fix the temperature, we'll use Fahrenheit. Save. Good. So let's try it and see if it works. So we want to convert 100 from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Convert. Perfect. It's working. So it shows us 2F. So before then, let's remove this default 100C from here and put select a unit. Select a unit. Select a unit, and let's just put this side and save. Good. So it instructs people to select a unit before they click. The next thing we are going to do now is to check if to Celsius, converting to Celsius is clicked. So we use else if. Good. Now when we use else if, we are going to say the same way we use for here, is we edit Celsius dot checked. Okay, now we'll reassign temp is equals to, let's copy this because the same thing, Ctrl C, let's paste, Ctrl V. Then we have another formula for this, which I'll quickly do. We'll use brackets for these ones actually. So for the first bracket, we're going to have okay, for the first bracket, let me try and get the formula from where I store them. Good. So for the first bracket, we're going to have temp minus 32. for the second bracket, 5 divided by 9, and then we'll times them. Let's space that out. Okay, this is the formula for converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Then we'll change the result dot inner HTML equals to, so we are still doing this, Control C, just a little twerk in there. We'll change this to C, representing Celsius. Let's save and let's try it. So let's say 100 in Fahrenheit to Celsius. Perfect. But if you notice here, it's giving us much decimal number, and we want it to just be two decimal place. So let's do something to it. Let's come put a bracket here, put another bracket here. There is a method called toFixed dot toFixed, and will represent how many numbers we want after the decimal here, and it does exactly that for us. So let's do the same here. Dot toFixed. We want it to be 2 decimals also. Save. Good. So let's check if it works. So let's try that again. 100 in Fahrenheit to Celsius, convert. Good. 2 decimals. So we are up and going. Now we've done most of the functionality, but to what we saw here, we can see that when we click this button, 100 Celsius to Fahrenheit, and then we convert, we are going to make that loading now happen. And for that loading, we are going to use something called set timeout. It's an asynchronous code. Let's come here, and when we come here, we are going to put set timeout. Now what actually happened here was that when you click the code, set timeout has a callback function within it, and it has a time to execute that function. So when we click the button, as the computer is trying to run the code, when it reaches set timeout, it skips it, so it does not follow order because it is asynchronous. It has been given time to load, but the other code beneath it will actually run, and after it runs, when the time for set timeout is up, then the computer will return back and run set timeout callback functions, which is within. And that is how we are going to work with this now. So inside set timeout, let's put function a function and comma here. Let's give time, let's say 200 or 2000, sorry. Now this represents milliseconds for the set timeout. Coming here, let's look at this very well. So now we want these results to show after a code has run. And which code? Converting to, that is the converting to code. So let's say converting, no, let's reassign the result first. Result dot inner HTML, so put here converting from, we are converting from Fahrenheit, no, we are converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, so let's put Celsius to Fahrenheit. Then let's put that dot, that makes it looks like it's loading. So let's try that. Let's say 100 Celsius to Fahrenheit, and let's converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Perfect. And you see it's working. So what really happens here is that as the computer is running the code in an orderly manner, when it meets set timeout, that is where asynchronicity comes in. It skips this code because the time for it, or its time frame that has been set, has not been completed, and it runs every other code beneath it. So this code is being run, and then once the time is done, the code within will be executed. So that's how set timeout work. So we'll do the same thing for this other input. So let's come set timeout, Control C. Let's come here and paste. Okay, so we'll be changing some things here actually. So our result is actually this result. Control X, that is, we cut it, and Control V. Okay, save. So let's see if it works here also. Let's see, 100 from Fahrenheit to Celsius. Let's converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit. Okay, we have to change this also from Fahrenheit. Good. So let's here 200. Let's convert. Perfect. Converting from Fahrenheit to Celsius, working very well. Now we're going to work on this, because as we saw here, when we convert, we see that here changes, and then after some time again it returns back to its previous. Let's wait a little bit. It returns back to temperature converter. So we're going to model what was done there, and I think I just know what they did. So for here, once it's converting from Celsius to, we also want to load the heading within here also. So say heading dot inner HTML equals to, say, converted let's write that in capital letter, converted from. So let's, for here we are converting from Celsius to Fahrenheit, from Celsius, or let's say converted to Fahrenheit. Make it short, converted to Fahrenheit. Good. Then for the next one, let's copy this so that the code will be more easier, or let's just copy the whole of this. Then we'll come here, and inside this set timeout we'll put converted to Celsius. Let's save. Good. So let's try it and see. 100 converted to Fahrenheit. Correct. So now it's converted, but if you notice our own code, it does not return back. For it to return back, we're going to use this method. Now let's come here. We'll use set timeout within again. And then let's give it let's say 7,000 milliseconds. Since theirs was long, let's assume it was 7,000 milliseconds. And then after we've done that, we'll now reassign the heading. Now we are seeing When this set timeout finish running, there's another one inside of it that is running again, and after it runs, we are going to reset this. Ctrl C, yes, paste, V. Converted to, no, temperature converter, the default. Temperature converter, good. So I guess it's working. Yes, 100. Let's use the one we've done first. Good. Let's wait a while and see if it returns back. Yep, I think we've done it. Okay, notice that we'll be copying and pasting this code on this place to make our work more readable. Let's just create a function for it since it's the same thing we'll be doing. So let's say function, say return head. And then let's cut this, paste it here. Okay, so now we can just use this function, call the function there, and it runs the same code. So you see that this makes our work more spaced out. So coming here also, we'll do the same here. We didn't change anything, we only put it in a function so that we can reuse it. That's one of the use for functions, reusable codes. Okay, we saved, and let's try that again. 100. Let's try the other one. Let's see if it's working. Convert. Okay, let's give it a minute or some seconds if it returns back. Perfect. So everything is working just fine.